Today we're diving into a really important systematic review. It asks a pretty tough question. Why is it that some kids with hearing loss get a life-changing chance to hear, while others, with the exact same potential, are left behind? Let's get into it.
First, to really get what's at stake here, we have to understand what hearing loss really means for a child. It's not just about not hearing sounds, it's about the fundamental building blocks of their entire future. And that brings us right to the heart of this research. What on earth connects a child's ability to hear to their family's bank account? As we're about to see, that connection is way more direct and, frankly, more alarming than you might think. The sheer scale of this is just staggering. According to the World Health Organization, we're talking about 34 million children around the globe who are affected by hearing loss. So this isn't some small niche problem. It's a massive global health issue. Think of it like a domino effect. Hearing is basically the foundation for learning to speak. And if that foundation is shaky, it can seriously affect everything that's built on top of it. A child's cognitive skills, how they learn, and even how they connect with other people. But here's where the story takes a hopeful turn. We actually have some absolutely incredible technology that can completely change that path for a child. It's called a Cochlear implant. And let's be clear, this is not just a fancy hearing aid. It's a highly sophisticated medical device that can fundamentally change how a person experiences the world of sound. So how does this amazing thing work? Well, in a nutshell, it's a brilliant little workaround. It completely bypasses the damaged parts of the inner ear and sends electrical signals straight to the hearing nerve. The brain then learns to take those signals and interpret them as sound. For the person receiving it, it's like a whole new world opening up. And the results? They're pretty remarkable. The research is absolutely solid on this. The earlier a child gets an implant, the better they do with speech and language. Why? Because a young child's brain is incredibly flexible, like clay. But that window of peak adaptability doesn't stay open forever. Okay, so we have a clear problem, and we have a proven, game-changing solution. That should be the end of the story, right? Well, this is where the review starts to uncover a much more complicated and, honestly, a much more troubling reality. Let's just hammer this point home because it is the most critical factor here. Timing is everything. The earlier a child gets a cochlear implant, the better their shot is at developing language just like their hearing peers. It really is a race against the clock. Which leads us to the central, burning question of this entire review. Is this life-altering opportunity, this critical race against time, equally available to every single child who needs it? And the answer, tragically, is a clear and resounding no. The review uncovered this persistent, undeniable pattern. A child's access to this technology is systematically tied to their family's socioeconomic background. Basically, a child's future is being shaped by their zip code and their family's finances. So, what does this inequality actually look like in the real world? Let's get into the specifics and look at the data. The review zeroes in on this one really powerful study. Researchers looked at the records of over 1,500 kids in Florida over a 12-year span. They wanted to see a very simple thing. Who got their implants early and who didn't? And the findings, well, they're pretty jarring. This chart shows the rate of early implantation, the kind that makes the biggest difference. You can see that white non-Hispanic children got them at a rate of over 43%. But for Hispanic children, that number drops to under 30%. And for Black non-Hispanic children, it's just over 25%. The gap is impossible to ignore. And it's not just about race and ethnicity. The same study sliced the data another way, by insurance type. And guess what? The pattern is just as clear. Kids with private insurance had an early implementation rate of almost 43%. For kids on Medicaid, it plummets to 28%. And for families trying to pay out of pocket, it drops even lower. And look, this isn't just an American problem. And it's not just about money. The review pulled in studies from all over. For example, in the Amish community, things like cultural norms and simple logistics, like getting transportation, are huge hurdles. In India, for low-income families, the struggle doesn't even end after the surgery. Getting the right follow-up care is a huge challenge. And get this, another study found that even when kids get the implant, those on public insurance often use it less consistently, which points to ongoing problems with support and maintenance.
So after sifting through data from all these different communities, different countries, different healthcare systems, what's the common thread? What's the big takeaway from all of this?
It really all comes down to this concept that experts call the social determinants of health. It's this idea that our health isn't just about our genes or the choices we make. It's deeply, profoundly shaped by all these non-medical things, the conditions we're born into, where we grow up, our family's income, our neighborhood. These are the invisible forces that are really at play here.
So, the review's conclusion is pretty blunt. It says that socioeconomic factors are the #1 barrier stopping kids from getting timely access. These aren't just little speed bumps, they are major roadblocks that delay treatment and can permanently change a child's life for the worse. The authors are basically sending up a flare. We need serious policy changes to make this system more fair for everyone.
Which leaves us all with one final, powerful question to think about. The science exists, the technology is here, right now, to give a deaf child the incredible gift of sound. The real challenge, it turns out, isn't about the technology at all. It's about us as a society. What is our responsibility to make sure that every single child, no matter their background, gets a chance to hear?